Welcome back to the channel, my dear viewers. In the last video I talked about the disclosure process and how it is unfolding in our timeline. Today I'm going to indulge in some speculative scenarios that we as humanity could face in the years that lie ahead. I believe, however, that either of these speculations could become our future reality. But allow me to backtrack here and return to the current state of affairs, where we are on the cusp of losing much of our freedoms through the wicked enslavement forum's diabolical plan. The potential for humanity's future is looking grim, and we are concerned that the stage is being set for the loss of our entire way of life. The tale of two timelines, as I've called it, is already, along with disclosure, rolling out at this very moment. Every day that passes brings a greater reality of what we are going to face. It's like a puzzle in which the yet to be placed pieces, the pieces that lie on the side of the assembly platform, represent the future realities, which, when in time, when applied to the growing puzzle, produce a current reality. I'll call the first timeline plan the quick route to fourth and fifth density living. The fullness of this scenario could be expedited within a short space of time, let's say between today and 2030 CE. It is the acceleration of the harvest and ascension elements that are to increase incumbent souls from third density vibration to the fourth density vibration. Our wonderful mother Gaia has already transitioned to fourth density vibration, but her inhabitants, us, will need time to make the change a reality. I see this transition as ongoing in the lives of Earth's inhabitants, affecting individuals on the basis of their current vibrational standing and evolution of consciousness. The questions that still to be answered are: A. Will current efforts at dislodging the cabal be effective before humanity is forced into a state of paralysis and fear? B. Will nuclear war break out and threaten the status quo to the extent that the extraterrestrial presence must step in to prevent the total devastation of the environment and all life on the planet? C. Will there be a sudden and unexpected arrival of the Psychar forces with the notion of retaking the planet they've lost to the Galactic Federation of Worlds? In this case, the Galactic Federation of Worlds will step in and remove humanity from the planet. These are the extenuating circumstances that might speed up the vibratory status of all life on the planet and expedite a sudden transition. On the other hand, the second timeline tale has a more long-term effect on the transition, one that will allow younger third density entities enough time to continue their efforts at removing the cabal from power and the curtailment of its power-hungry ambitions, and by doing so start a planned implementation of conditions that will change the course of political and spiritual ideals to those that are congruent with the new Earth and fifth density life. This will be a much slower process, but one that will be very stabilizing and rewarding. One that will allow for slow density change by upgrading of personal vibration, where physical bodies can move into the higher density environment without any trauma, and minds can safely evolve in consciousness. Older third density entities, however, who might not achieve fourth density vibration and thereby find that their physical bodies cannot deal with the elevated level, will proceed along the normal current reincarnation cycle and thereby find themselves back on another third density planet somewhere else in the universe, in continuation of karmic balance. The second timeline might just be the one that will help all incumbent souls the opportunity to achieve the ultimate growth pattern that was intended by the higher self and guides before this current incarnation. This would indeed be a win-win for everyone, so allow me a few minutes to speculate on how we might proceed in the following of this longer route from the current scenario of uncertainty to the final destination of the new Earth. It would be of vital importance that no further mandated issues are acquiesced to, that is, when the authorities who have to do with health-related issues, and because of the sole digital nature of every transaction, have records that show what you have allowed to be induced into your body, they will start to hound you to take their wares. And this will happen. You should resist any inclination to acquiesce to their demands at all costs. Be warned that the induced ingredients cannot be removed from your body, and it will alter your DNA, making vibrational increase much, much harder. This may be the single greatest test to be faced during the unfolding of this second tale's timeline, and it's advisable to take the advice offered. However, the outcome of one losing this battle is not as drastic as it may seem, because if you don't move on to the higher density, you will simply follow the other third density entities in the usual karmic balancing route. Remember that the catalyst you receive only comes to third density entities, but once your vibration increases to fourth density, there is no need for catalyst or cosmic greetings. But bear in mind that every soul's aim is to grow its personal vibration while in the third density situation. And it takes the positive dealing with catalyst to move beyond the intended negative effects as you progress on your journey. So having stood against the negative polarized attempts to con you into receiving the deadly induction of DNA-altering nanobots, you will need to find ways of negotiating the other pitfalls that the Cabal has planned for those who are looking to increase vibrational status. There are many YouTube videos that will educate on how to proceed during this time frame. That is, how to grow your own food, what to stock up on to overcome the need to stay alive when there are digital shutdowns or when they remove all your life savings, plus all the other nasty tricks the Wicked Enslavement Forum has up its sleeve. The time for totalitarian government control to be dealt a death blow at the ballot box is fast approaching, and once this can be achieved, the path ahead will become much easier. We would need to reverse as much of the damage done to the infrastructure by the Wicked Enslavement Forum's policies. Land will be returned to those who have lost it. The supply chain issues caused by the reckless and foolhardy actions by these governments could also be rectified over time. There will also be a lot of work to do in reversing the laws of assisted suicide and re-education of the general public, many of whom were exposed only to the dark and nefarious reporting by the mainstream press. Much good advice on how to overcome the many hardships created by this totalitarian group will be offered by our Intergalactic Confederation partners. Advice that will help us overcome the suffering that the Wicked Enslavement Forum has set up for its slaves. We are more than capable of overcoming the odds because of who we really are. A truth that the denizens of this new age should never lose sight of. We are a fractal of Source, and in accordance with the holographic universal theme, we are Source, having a wonderful experience within its created world. If this second tale of timeline is the one you would prefer, and you should, then begin to exercise your universal right and write that script to its end. Use your divine right, that of a co-creator, and exercise the hope that is in you. Well, that's all we have time for in this expose of Spiritually Conscious Soul 101. But before we close, please remember to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons below. It's vitally important that should you resonate with the message, you encourage others to subscribe, and in doing so, keep this channel active and relevant. If you would like to leave a comment, please make use of the comment section provided below. Thank you for watching my channel, and be sure to catch up with the latest material on the next viewing of Spiritually Conscious Soul 101.